Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're listening to the Brinkcast, episode 9. Episode 9, Gordie Howe, Paul Correa, some notable number 9s. Hey, you like that?
I like it. That's pretty good. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, so number 9, one of my all-time favorite numbers, low key.
Really?
And always think of Paul Correa.
That information. Well, there you go.
Always think of Paul Correa. Yeah. So anyways, welcome. Episode 9. Jay, father, how you doing, my man?
Good. Hey, it's different seeing you like this. I can't just high five you over here.
Yeah, I know.
What's going on?
It's different. Yeah, we're coming into the 21st century here and getting with the modern age, taking it virtual. So it's going to be a little more efficient for the old schedules and a little easier to manage that way. So I think it looks good so far, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. It'll open up a lot of doors for us. We're excited about some things to come on this, and just needed to make a move and a change as you become adaptable and all those things. And I think this is a wise move for us to do it this way, which I love it.
Absolutely.
I love your jerseys back there, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We'll decorate the whole wall.
Even got a couple plants in the space here, so I'm gonna work on getting this mini little studio set up properly.
Yeah.
And right now we got the old spaghetti plate, Canucks jersey, and then another jersey from the 2010 era. Awesome to be on with you, chatting Sunday evening here.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, and it feels like spring, and it's
unbelievable.
Goodness, does
it ever?
It's been in a great mood pretty much all last week, and I'm getting fired up for springtime and for all the snow to be gone. So it's good vibes over here.
Nice and slowly. It's going away.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, it's been a couple of weeks since we jumped on for bring you guys an episode, and just had a lot going on family wise, and I know my pop over there was running with Coop and had 2 sick gals in the house this last week. So I was
away for a couple of gigs last weekend too. I was away in Alberta for a couple shows, so I got back Sunday evening, and it just didn't work out. The last weekend was going to be the one to. And we were thinking about doing this whole new format and all that. So there's transition and all that too, which I think is good. I think it's productive.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I haven't seen you. Speaking of the girls, how are they? Are they good?
Now
Better?
They're good. Yeah, this last week was a little bit of a battle. They were both battling some pretty nasty colds. So 7-month-old and the wifey were on the IR, and of course tough to leave them every day and have them fend for themselves in the house with the dogs. So got to work from home. Did
you have to break up the snot sucker for both of them?
Yeah, snot sucker was in full effect. I'm getting pretty
for both of them, or just
with the
Scotty?
old sucker. What's that?
For both of them, or just Scotty?
Yeah, no, Jess wouldn't let me.
Yeah, exactly.
Use that, but snot sucker was back in action. That thing's got a lot of games played here. Now it's been a good little tool to have. Especially middle of the night, and the poor girl can't get herself back to sleep. Couple hits on the old snot sucker and clears her right up. And we're back to sleep.
You must be certified with that thing now. You must have like a certificate saying you're a pro.
Yeah. No, I might.
I don't know if that's something anybody ever. I don't know that you've ever aspired to be a pro with that, but
no.
Trust me, there's
never.
A lot of things coming up that you're going to be like, I didn't know I'd be a professional at this.
Yeah. So anyways, they're on the mend now, and we're doing, and seems doing good, and seems like I might have escaped this sickness, hopefully.
Yeah, good for you. Just keep staying down there in the basement. You're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When it happens here, I'll just stay out here in the garage. I remember back in 2020, back in the COVID days, I remember sleeping out in the garage when I was sick and stuff, and it was wild. That seems like 20 years ago now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's
I had
crazy.
a couple nights where I was sent to the basement to quarantine or whatever it was, and what a wild time that was.
Yeah.
I will say in the last 7 months there was 1 week in August that I was sleeping on the couch because I was very sick and didn't want to get Scotty girl sick. So
no, that would be terrible. But they're doing
Yep.
better. That's good. That's very good.
Yep. So,
Well, it's
that
gonna be
was
nice to be able to take her out, not so bundled up.
oh man, it's great. Yeah, we've been out for walks every night, and sidewalks are getting there, kind of dicey in some spots, but yeah, the strollers pushing through, and myself, Jess, and the pups are cruising along pretty much every day now. So it's vibes are great, and
Oh yeah, everybody around
our
town
neck of
seems
the
so
woods.
much happier.
yeah, oh yeah, it's
That
it's like
sunshine
a
and the warm
switch
temperatures.
flips.
Every single year. That's just how it goes.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome.
So
That's,
you were a traveling man.
I was traveling last weekend.
Last week,
yeah. I hadn't been away playing with Aaron and the family. Our last gig was September 20th last year at a winery, the Winery Village in Oliver, BC. It's a really cool spot, and we played that. Like, it was almost 6 months ago that we played, which is kind of crazy. We don't usually, last year it was 1 year ago today that I got home from a 7-week tour, and we usually don't have that big of a gap between shows. But yeah, we were real excited to see each other. It was a lot of fun. Flew to Edmonton and then drove up to Lac La Biche on the way to like Fort Mac, and then came back and played a fun show in Edmonton on the Saturday. It was great.
Yeah, that's quite a
good time.
quite a hiatus. So must have been nice to see the crew and get back out on stage and
It's a pretty tight. We're a pretty tight family. We've all been around in the band for a very, very long time and stuff. And it was really good. We played the show. It was Friday night. We played with Jess Moskaluk in Lac La Biche, and it was a really good show. A lot of people showed up and stuff. And I hadn't seen Jess in a very long time. She's a good friend from years ago. Recorded with her and played on a lot of stuff. I'm just looking across the room here at the platinum plaque here for Cheap Wine and Cigarettes. If anybody's heard that song, that's me trashing the cans on that thing. But yeah, it was really fun. And then Saturday when we went to Edmonton, it was actually ironic. Aaron's son Jordan was playing guitar with us, and Aaron's son Jordan and his fiancée Danielle had the baby just, I think he's 8 days younger than Scotty. His name's Rhodes, and he was at the sound check. So he came to the sound check, and he had his little headphones on, and he was just hanging out. He was really digging it, and he got to come up and like tap around on the drums and stuff, and they were ecstatic. It was just so much fun watching them just have so much fun with him being there. I loved it.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good time. So that was
couple grandpas, eh?
I know,
couple
exactly.
Grandpas in the band of grandpas.
Yeah, a band of grandpas. You said that when everything was transpiring. And one of us, Aaron, is in amazing shape. Man, that guy's been doing yoga like crazy and works out like a beast. He's so like, I've been trying. Like I'm not going to lie. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I'm on a 44-day walking streak of getting my steps in every day.
Unreal.
44 days. I know.
Walking bender.
I really am. We went away on a hockey tournament, and I spent 2 days in the gym walking. We were away on the gigs last weekend. I never go to the gym on gigs at the hotel, and I was in the gym. People were like, "What's wrong with this guy?" I know. I was committed.
That's awesome.
I know,
man.
Exactly. So, but that was it was a pretty fun weekend.
That's awesome. Yeah, those shows must have been a party. And going to see you guys play, it's always super high energy.
Oh
yeah. Love watching you guys do your thing up there and have such a good time. And it's a super fun show to go to. And I was thinking back when I seen you guys a couple summers ago in Regina, and can't remember what medley it was you guys played, but it was a bunch of 90s tunes and early 2000s. I think there was some Blink in there and Nirvana and I know Coop was looking at me because I was rocking out pretty hard, and he was looking at me like, ooh, a little embarrassed by his older brother.
Having too much fun.
So, yeah,
I like it though. No, that
he'll learn in a couple of years.
That's exactly right. Well, he's seen it last summer. He came to a show and he really dug it too. But I know it's a very high energy show. The Saturday night show, we played a club in Edmonton called Cook County, and it's been in Edmonton since like I think the early '80s. It opened, and it's been there forever. And every time we play there, it's just a blast. Like we've got some great stories from things there. Like when I joined the band in 2008, in October of 2008, we did a 6-show tour with Toby Keith and played like Rogers Arena and the Saddle Dome and all these great places. And when we played the Edmonton show afterwards, everybody went to Cook County, and we were all hanging out in this back room. And it's a real small room, but Toby Keith and the whole band were there, and I just think of that. And so it was a party like 600 people just on a Saturday night just losing their minds. They were loud.
Awesome. Yeah.
No, it's great. It's nice to see that he still Gets the crowd worked up. And the medley,
Oh, yeah.
so that medley can never go, like we've decided it can never go away, but we're in the midst of changing it right now. We're going to make it a Canadian medley. So we're going to dig up some great old Canadian tunes and make it a good sing-along thing for the crowd, which should be a real fun time.
I imagine the hip might be making an appearance in that one.
The hip, and I think there's talk of like Home for a Rest, and what else we got? Some Bryan Adams. Oh, it's all over the map. BTO. There's a lot to choose from. Yeah, but it's fun. It's always fun. I still get very, very, very excited to go play drums, which I absolutely love. The day I don't get excited to go play drums, I'll get rid of all this stuff back here. But I don't see that happen anytime soon.
That's great, and you keep moving your body and staying in shape. You can do it for many years to come, my friend.
I hope so.
And yeah, that's awesome.
Sounded like so that was the weekend, and that was part of why everything got delayed last week and stuff and all that. But it's a good time. I love it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what else had happened. I know we were both watching the Four Nations when that transpired. It seems like that was quite a few weeks ago now, but
yeah, no kidding. Well, episode 8, we had talked about the game coming up. It was sort of like a preview because we knew what the final was going to be and stuff, and there was a lot of anticipation, from game 1 to the final game that was coming up. So yeah,
it got pretty loud, obviously, with everything that was transpiring. I don't know if you want to jump into that right now, or
you can go wherever you want. Absolutely, no. I think we totally can. I think it's right on the table.
Yeah, no, that was. I know we had mentioned it in episode 8 that obviously with everything going on in the political landscape right now, that this game was going to be, obviously a big one for both countries, and I don't remember, I think I said this before, I don't remember a time where it was very USA versus Canada. It always seems like, have been allegiances forever, right?
Right.
Obviously, there's been some big hockey games and rivals in that sense, but this felt bigger than hockey, and just so proud and excited to watch that as a Canadian hockey fan, and they sure delivered. What a game that was!
No kidding.
And of course, it's McDavid to win it in overtime.
Yeah, unbelievable. And I know that, with all the political landscape and the timing of everything going on, it didn't overshadow the game, but it was really, there was more to it than just the hockey game. But yeah, there was a lot of people. I never did hear the final number of people watching or the audience of whatever, but it must have been crazy. Like, I know we were out of town for a hockey practice that night in Sedley, Saskatchewan, and Laura came out and a few of the parents, we went to the small town bar and we caught the first period in the small town bar and then listened to the second period on the way home after the practice and then caught the third period in overtime once we got home. So we weren't missing a second of it. There was no way.
Yeah. No, I think
even if we had to go drink beers at the small town bar.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a top 10 spot to watch a game at the old Sedley bar, I'd say.
Oh yeah, and about a 22-inch TV on the wall. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, Jess is a hockey fan, but by no means is she like a fanatic. But we were both. She was completely bought into this one. I know all of our friends were. A lot of casual sports fans were invested as well, and in both countries.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, what a game, and for an exhibition tournament that really doesn't mean a whole lot. It sure meant something for those two teams and all the players and staff involved. And it's been said a lot, but Canada needed a W at that time. Yeah. It kind of been taking it on the shins a little bit as a country, it seemed, and it was just nice to be able to remind the world that Canada's still number one in hockey, and as a preview for the next year's Olympics.
That was huge.
Couldn't ask for much more. I think everyone's going to be craving that and remembering back to this tournament when the Olympics rolls around. And I know those two teams are going to meet again and likely in a big game. So
yeah,
just great to have
very similar lineups, like probably all the same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this is essentially allows both teams to get their groups together well in advance of that tournament and get some experience and gel as a team and build that chemistry. So yeah, it's going to be
definitely.
the Olympics are going to be on another level, and this one was
people already have them blocked off. Like people are already like, waiting for the schedule to come down and everything. And yeah, that overtime was insane. Like at the end of the third period, it was so emotionally charged. Laura she didn't even want to watch the overtime because there was so much excitement in it. And the overtime started.
I know, yeah.
And
I think I said before overtime started, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can watch this, or I said, like, I don't like this. I think is what I said, just because it's going to either be elation or
heartbreak. Yeah. And not heartbreak, but just disappointment in just the what's at stake. It's it's a game. I get it. It's a game. Whatever. But there was more. There was a lot more overriding the whole thing. And as the overtime started, it was funny. We were sitting in the living room watching, and the USA had so many chances, and Binnington just like stood on his head. And I was just laughing, and Laura couldn't understand why I was laughing, but I was laughing because it was just so exciting watching like this come down to that moment of like I remember the 2010 Olympics when Sidney Crosby scored the golden goal, and I remember it was the same thing. Like you're just sitting there going, there's only one of two ways this goes. Like right now in one shot, this whole thing could end. Yeah. And it just really seemed like the USA had so much pressure coming out of the gates in that overtime. And Jordan Binnington
last 25 minutes of that game, like back to 10 minutes left in the third period, Binnington I don't know what happened, but he got it in zone that not many people can get to, and
that puck was obviously looking huge.
Yeah, he was feeling it.
Yeah. And he's he's so athletic and obviously just hyper focused. Like he can, in those moments step up, and he was criticized for that. Could he step up in the big moments? Could he, and really hush the people about that, which I love those kind of stories where you see a guy really, really step up and go beyond what they even know they're capable of, and then go, hey, there it is. That's what I could do.
Yeah, no, exactly. Huge performance from Binnington, and fiery guy, ultra competitive. He's had his reputation of being kind of a hothead and channeling his inner Ron Hextall at times, which,
as
a fan, it's exciting and fun to watch a guy like that. But he's came up clutch in some massive moments for the Blues, and then obviously for Canada here a couple weeks ago. And I can't remember exactly how this series ended, but he beat Boston in Boston. So that was kind of another story coming out of it. I think it was when they won a few years back in 2019, I believe it was. So yeah, obviously a couple big moments in that building for him, and just a hell of a game by an ultra competitor.
Yeah, no kidding. And fitting that, McDavid scored, it was a great goal. It was a great pass from the corner. It was great work down low to keep the puck in. There were so many pieces that, who fired the puck around the boards? I can't even remember who shot that puck around the boards.
Oh, it was the D-man. I don't know if it was
Crosby dug it out. Just kept in at the blue line, and the whole thing just unfolded, and it was amazing.
Yeah. One guy that really impressed me through this whole tournament was Mitch Marner. And I've never been a huge fan. I don't know if it's just because he plays for the Leafs, but he never seemed to be that hard of a guy to kind of play against and go up against. But man, he's a great player, and he stepped up once again. In this tournament, and makes that pass, makes that play on the game winner to Connor. I think he had 2 assists in that game.
Yeah,
another nice one to Bennett on the second goal. So and then obviously, like you said, McDavid with the winner. And Jess is funny. Like I had mentioned, Jess isn't like a massive hockey fan, but she knows what's up with the game, and she's a Bruins girl. And she looked at me and said, I can't remember her exact words, but it was something like, "Oh, of course, Crosby's protege wins the game," or something like that. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like Crosby just passed the torch to old Connor there, and I think Crosby's going to be going, sounds like, in the Olympics next year. So he's not done, but. No. Connor gets his big moment for Canada. That's probably just a sign of things to come, hopefully, in his international career.
I would totally say so. Yeah, but it was quite a game. It really the next day, everybody was feeling a lot of pride. All the time. Anytime. I remember anytime Canada, back when Canada would dominate the World Juniors and all those things, and it really
and that hasn't been the case the last few years, right? So the States have been coming, and they have they have an incredible roster as well.
Yeah. Well, and obviously great hockey programs down there that they're, that are excelling, which is great.
I think,
it's good for the game of like any sport. It's great that countries develop that, and they, there's work ethic in it, and like we've said before, that teaches you so much about life that it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I think USA Hockey I think they basically uprooted their minor hockey development system. I want to say like early 2000s, and then now you're just seeing it's paying dividends because these players are insane. And I think a lot of that has to go to credit to 99 and growing the game in America.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is ironic because Gretzky's of course been in the headlines the last little bit here, and just not. I don't like it. it. I'll say it. Yeah. Politics aside, I think Gretzky has proven his allegiance to Canada time and time again throughout his career and his life. So, I mean, USA Hockey is thriving right now, and I think there's a lot of interest from people who weren't necessarily hockey fans before this tournament, and it's just wild that an exhibition tournament has generated this much interest. And obviously the NHL was hoping and planning for this. I don't think they could have expected it to go as well as it did.
No. Well, I think it was the final they wanted.
Oh, I mean, of course.
I think it was totally what they had
of course.
thought. If you're looking at it from what's going to bring in the viewers, what's going to generate, any whatever,
Yeah.
But
I think if they decide to go forward with a tournament like this instead of an all-star game, I know they kind of have to do it mid-season. I know it kind of sucks for injuries and such. I know a lot of guys are missing time right now, but way better, way more exciting, way more interest. And just like reflects the true spirit of the game with
big time
the four nations going at it. So I hope they continue to do it. And if not, it was great, and looking forward to best on best next year at the Olympics.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this goes back to the 70s, the Paul Henderson goal in the Summit Series, like all that stuff. Like it's always sort of been there. Right? Mm-hmm. Again, the movie Miracle that you've talked about and stuff, like that's always sort of been an overlying thing with country on country, best of the best, all that. And it's exciting, and it's great. Like any sport should, like the World Baseball Classic last year. They got the guys playing, and it's the best players from Japan playing the best players from the USA, playing the best players from Canada, and it's like you're seeing the elite level of all these countries. And even for the players, like they get to play with, like a guy like Brad Marchand, who played for the Bruins, played for this US team in a US climate. All of a sudden now he's playing with this Canadian team and kind of reunited with,
getting ovations at the Bell Center in Montreal, which
exactly.
That had to have been strange.
You're just kind of reminded of the country you grew up in and your sort of your history and everything. And I think that's huge for the players to sort of step back and get that, and feel that for their homeland, right?
Yeah,
I would guess. I don't know, but I would guess
I
that
think
would be
it's
a
a
big
different
deal.
level when it's your country and not your club team.
The team you're paid to be on,
Yeah, I mean, the one drawback with this tournament is missing a lot of players, notably from Russia.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like they gotta be included here soon because we're missing some good athletes on the Russian side. And
Ovechkin didn't get to play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which in hindsight, I'm guessing the time off, didn't hurt the Capitals at all.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before. No one from the Capitals was at that tournament.
Which is crazy.
So they were fully rested and to come out of the break. So
which they are.
But I mean, Russia could give Canada and US a run. It seems like they obviously always have been there in those type of tournaments, and so that's kind of the only drawback. But it is what it is, and hopefully we see more best on best. Totally. Well, we know we're getting the Olympics, so we know it's going to happen. Yeah, exactly. Right? Speaking of Ovi, he's only 9 back now. That is crazy. Jumping into Ovi watch here. 9 back of Wayne for all-time goals. Yeah, I'm just going to look back here. I don't know if I wrote this down in one of the episodes, how far he was back on a certain date. I don't actually think I did. No, but he just keeps like, he was January. Oh man, this was podcast 5. He was 23 away in January.
So 9 seems so doable. And what is there, 22 games left? 21, 22 games left? Something
Yeah,
like
I'm not sure what the Caps have. It's right around that
that?
20, 21.
Yeah. So
games remaining.
you know they're pushing for him to get everything he can. Empty netters, whatever it takes.
Yeah, I heard that Wayne is going to start following him around when he gets within 5.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So he's in the building when it happens, which will be special. And
yeah, I think that's when
coming.
I can't remember. I think it was about that number when Aaron Judge beat the Roger Maris record, the home run thing, and I think it was about that, about 5 when they were 5 or 7 away is when the Maris family started following him around to be part of the whole thing. Yeah, that's gonna be insane. Like it's totally gonna happen. It's gonna be electric where it happens. Who knows? If it'll be a home game for the Capitals or on the road or
could be an empty netter.
Could be an empty netter. Yeah. It could be crazy if they're playing the Penguins. I don't know if they have a game coming up against the Penguins, but it could be crazy if him and Sydney were playing each other and he got it in a game like that. Like, wouldn't that be what a story, eh?
I honestly think they might. That would be unreal though if that happened to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and just the fact that, Crosby definitely is cheering him on. Like, there's no doubt that, so he would love to be in the building to see that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wonder, like, I'm just thinking about this right now. I don't even know, like, if the game goes into a shootout and he gets a shootout goal, does that count?
No.
Like, does that go towards, it doesn't. Yeah, I wouldn't guess so, but I didn't know for sure if that was sort of the thing.
You play the Pittsburgh Penguins on April 17th for game 82.
No way.
In Pittsburgh.
Wow. Holy man.
Yeah.
April, what day? April what?
April 17th.
17th. Okay, so just over a month away. Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, people have to, like, I'm sure there's got to be an odds line or a betting thing now on what game it's going to happen. And, like, I'm sure that there's got to be a watch on that too, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I would guess so.
Yeah, so, yeah.
That's wild.
I think it's safe to say it's going to happen this year, barring some sort of crazy injury.
Well, he's already come back from a broken leg. What else, and he's, what is he, 39?
Yeah.
Like, the he's a beast.
He's a machine.
100% he is, yeah. So that'll be exciting. That'll be exciting to keep our eye on in the hockey world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Pretty wild, just sticking with the NHL talk here, pretty wild trade deadline this year. That happened on Friday.
Yeah. There was a few moves that were, big time.
And ones that, you heard a little bit of rumors about, but like I didn't see Marchand going to Florida. They kind of just unloaded him. I know they're retaining 50% of his salary there too for this year. So just getting rid of the most tenured Bruin.
Yeah. And your captain is totally. Yeah. That seems wild.
It's wild. You don't see that obviously too often. So and
and the fact that he goes to a team with Tkachuk and Bennett. Yeah, like, that's just nutty.
Team that knocked him out last year. There was that incident with him and Sam Bennett last year where Bennett kind of sucker punched him as he went to hit him and knocked him out of the series.
Yeah.
Now their teammates probably going to be playing on the same line at some point. So,
the U.S.-Canada thing, going back to that, the Tkachuk thing in Game 1, the Canada, all the fights in the first bit of the game. And it wasn't Marchand involved, but still,
Well, Bennett was involved.
It's fuel, right? Yeah, 100%.
Bennett was involved, and Matthew was involved, and then obviously Brad's there watching it, and now he's joining the boys, and they can share some laughs over that whole experience, I'm sure.
Man, they'll be planning shooting another Slapshot movie.
Yeah,
just with the
Hanson,
it was the Hanson
definitely old-time hockey vibes, that's for sure.
Yeah, coming up.
Yeah, I think that's going to be. Yeah, I mean that is kind of Florida's.
That's their MO. That's the way they play, right? Who coaches them? I can't even remember who coaches Florida.
Paul Maurice.
Oh, really? No way. Okay, from the old Winnipeg days. And he's a stand-up guy, isn't he? I remember last year after the Stanley Cup final, there was a big thing he did for his family and stuff, and it was very quite emotional. Like,
yeah, it seems like he's a good guy. Hear nothing but good things, and his press conferences and just what you see of him in the media.
Oh yeah, right. He was always hilarious, wasn't he? Like he always was
funny,
sort of sarcastic and
a little bit dry, a little bit sarcastic. But I've seen some clips of him being mic'd up throughout the playoffs last year, and just a hell of a motivator and a leader of men. And
that's good. Wow, you get another weapon down there now.
His team obviously loves playing for him. So.
Yeah.
So
they'll sum it up.
They got Marchand. They also acquired Seth Jones the day before on Thursday, which is huge. He's been kind of stuck in Chicago the last couple of years, not playing with a great roster over there, and he's had some very good years in Columbus and Nashville, I think, too. So I think he's still got some game left, and he's going to be an unreal addition for them on the back end as well.
Oh yeah.
And then probably the biggest fumble of the bag ever was this trade, Carolina acquiring Mikko Rantanen, I think it was 6 weeks ago from Colorado, for one of their top players, Martin Necas. They sent him to Colorado. They tried to sign Rantanen. He wasn't going to sign. He's a free agent this year. So they ended up shipping him back out to Dallas just to get some assets in return because they figure he's going to walk next year. But so Rantanen goes to Dallas, and he's played, I think, 3 games now. I think he scored. I think he had 2 last night, and got a notification on my phone. He scored against Canucks tonight. So
he did. He was involved in a huge addition tonight, too.
Dallas is definitely a wagon, Dad.
Oh yeah, yes, that's back to that. Yeah, okay,
yes, I got a wagon. They're going to be trouble in the West, and we'll see what happens. But Dallas is looking great on paper, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the Avalanche too, right? Like they added as well.
Yeah, Avs made some moves. Not only Martin Necas, like I said, over a month ago, but Charlie Coyle. And
Boston
Brock Nelson as well.
Did Boston get rid of a few guys?
Boston, yeah. I think they also got rid of Trent Frederick. He went to Edmonton. Yeah, they unloaded a few guys. It seems like they're starting a bit of a rebuild here. They have basically Pasternak, Charlie McAvoy, and Jeremy Swayman in net. That's kind of their only notable pieces left. So yeah, it's weird because the Bruins have been near the top of the league for such a long time. I don't think those fans in Boston and throughout North America are going to be too happy with the rebuild. But I know the GM's taking a lot of shrapnel online, and it's not great news in Boston right now. But as a Canucks fan, I don't hate to see Boston
not too bad
hurting. So
yeah, exactly. And the Canucks, just waiting for Besser or anybody to get moved, and nothing really happened. Was it the only move they made was Susie? Yeah. Which I guess as a team you go, okay, this is what we got now for the year, and you see if everybody can step up.
Yeah,
I guess.
No, exactly. Their D is pretty deep actually, so don't hate that.
I didn't realize. I was watching the game tonight, and I didn't realize how big Pettersson is on defense. Like he's a big guy.
Well, Pettersson and that Victor Mancini is an animal as well. He's like 6'7", I believe. And then
really?
Derek Forbort's another big body. Of course, Tyler Myers. So and then you got
Tyler Myers always stood out. Like you'd see him play, and you'd be like, okay, that's Tyler Myers. But now tonight I was watching, going, man, I don't know. Like a couple times I thought it was him, and it wasn't him. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh man, he's a big guy.
Yeah,
which is good. That's what you need back there, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then you got number 43 lugging the mail up and down the ice and doing his thing. So I don't definitely don't hate their D. Their forward lineup is questionable, but see what they can put together in the last 20 games here, and hopefully play a little more spring hockey.
Squeak in, no kidding. Just watching that last wild card spot. It could even be higher, but that last one, battling Calgary, could be. Yeah,
it's probably gonna come down to the wire here.
I would guess so. Yeah, I would guess so. And I think they play each other Wednesday. I believe the Canucks play Calgary's.
Yeah, that's a
big
one.
Interesting games this
week.
Need
that
to watch.
One.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Need that one. Gonna be watching that for sure.
100%. Wednesday night. Oh, it's on the same time as Coop's first playoff game for the Buffaloes. Wednesday night. Big night of hockey.
Double screen going.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to teach, so I'll have to explain to students that I can't really focus on drumming. We got more important things to do here.
It's going to be a busy night for you.
Yeah, I think so. All my students will be playing the Hockey Night in Canada theme. I love it. Well, Neil Peart did that years ago. There was a version of that, so maybe we'll just work that up.
Yeah, when TSN
Best of both worlds
rights to it, I remember that.
Yeah. Totally.
What else happened in the old hockey world?
I'm just trying to think.
That was kind of it.
That was kind of it. Yeah, the Canada thing was excitement for a while, and then the trade deadline thing, and just been doing that. But I've been watching more baseball. Like I've been since the first spring training game, I've like logged an unhealthy amount of time watching and listening to games already. And it's not even the season yet. Like, I can't even say, like, I'm counting down 162. I'm counting down spring training games and watching, like, all these guys. I'm like, I don't even know who this person is, but.
You're watching, like, 180 games here.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Every day last week, I took the dog for a walk, took Josie out for a walk, and every day the walk was planned at noon because the game was on, and I'd listen to him on my phone because I have the MLB subscription, and I would just listen to the game on our walks.
You can't beat that.
So it was amazing. Oh, it was pretty good. Like, again, with the weather changing and it getting so nice out, it was like a nice little mix.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And the good vibe, positive vibes, and then you got like. And it's spring training, and one of the announcers for the Red Sox, Joe Castiglione, he's been there forever, sort of semi-retired last year, but he lives down in Florida, and he's been doing some of the games, so his voice has been back, and it's real classic. It's great. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I love those classic MLB broadcasters.
Yeah,
and
like the Bob Ukers,
the radio guys their voices
they're the guys,
nice and crispy.
Yeah, Vin Scully and all the legends, all those legendary guys that had all the great broadcasts and could hold an audience for 3 hours long just with their voice and stories and everything.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
I love it. So that's been that. Aside from a little bit of hockey, I've just been following baseball stuff. And
Bregman's been looking all right for the Sox.
Oh man, Bregman, and he's been lighting it up. He's hitting over 500. And Trevor Story's been healthy, and he's been hitting good. This Trace Thompson guy that came to camp as a non-invite, he's leading the MLB in home runs for spring training. Like, he just hits a home run almost every day. He's got 7. Like
Trace.
Yesterday he hit a grand slam. They were down. I think they were down 6-1 in that game yesterday in Minnesota, and he hit a grand slam and came back, and they lost. I think they lost 9-8. And today hit another home run, and it was great. It was insane.
What position does he play?
He plays outfield. He's been playing right field, which is great because Wilyer Abreu is hurt, one of their the Gold Glove outfielder they had from last year. So he's hurt right now, so he's on his way back. But they have this guy, and so there's a few guys that are catching everybody's eye in spring training that are looking like nobody knew their name, and all of a sudden. And Trace Thompson, he has a brother. I think he has a brother that plays in the NBA. I can't remember his name.
Oh, okay.
His brother plays in the NBA, and he played for the Mets. So he's got some MLB experience. He's a big guy and stuff, but yeah, he's a machine out there. He's really good. So
that's Clay Thompson's brother.
There you go. That's his brother. Yeah. You know who that guy is?
Yeah, Clay Thompson. He played for the Warriors. Plays for the Mavs now.
I think so. I think someone said Dallas. Yeah, I thought someone said on the broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah, not big NBA guys, but I know who Clay Thompson is. He's part of the Splash Brothers and went on some runs with Steph Curry and the fellas in Golden State there.
Totally. Well, that's his brother Trace to play. That's probably going to be playing for the Red Sox because he's fantastic. So yeah,
interesting.
So I've just been following
some great
all of the Red
there.
Sox drama. Yeah. I've been following all of that. Rafael Devers, all the third base drama going on with him and Bregman. Devers is supposed to play a game Wednesday. The Red Sox actually don't have a game tomorrow, so I don't know what I'm doing on our walk. Apparently, it's going to be a quiet walk.
Yeah,
which is fine. But I probably need a break.
Yeah.
No, I don't even put headphones on. I just listen to it on my phone, and anybody walking by is
you don't.
Like, I do 100%.
What?
100%. Well, I can't put that. I don't trust myself with the headphones on if something happens and the dog gets freaked out and I don't actually hear it. Because when I have the headphones on, man, I'm one dimensional and I just can't. It's hard. It's like playing music. If I'm out here, I can't have distractions. So I just have it on my phone. I know it probably sounds like an old guy thing to do, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say different generation, I guess.
You'd probably walk by someone in the park like that and go, "Wow,
interesting."
Glad that 80-year-old guy's listening to his baseball game over there. At least everybody else in the park can hear it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, now that you say that, geez.
That's not quite as bad as being on speakerphone out in public.
Yeah, true story.
True story.
That's the worst.
That has got to be like top 5 worst things you can do as a human.
That's the worst. And if I do start using headphones, maybe instead of my wireless in-ear ones, I'll just take these to the park and I'll just wear these walking the dog around.
You look
that'd be
pretty
cool.
Styling,
as Scoop would say. That'd be sty. Yeah, that wouldn't be a giveaway. And it look like you got an AM radio, like the old guys that used to have the AM radio in their big headphones.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think that's sty, and maybe just stick to carrying your ghetto blaster around and listening to your baseball games that way.
I think so. There's no drip in that.
That's no, certainly.
As also as the kids say.
It's not drippy.
No, not at all. Not at all. Have you been watching any baseball?
Here and there, yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of whenever it's on and there's
Yeah.
not much else going on.
Right.
Saw a couple of the Jays games, just a few innings, and
Oh yeah, they're in first place in the Grapefruit League.
that's some.
Not that that means anything, but they've been hitting good. Ernie Clement's hitting good, and Guerrero has been. I think Guerrero hit a ball. I think it was against the Red Sox last weekend. He hit a ball 112 miles an hour off the bat. Like that's an insane speed to smash a ball back out to the field.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he puts together a better season here at the plate. I guess he was okay later in the year last year, but he's going to be leading the boys, and he's playing for a big.
He's playing
ticket,
for his value, right? Absolutely, and you kind of like when a guy plays for that, you know.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
even the Alex Bregman's thing, the signing that the Sox had, like he's got opt-outs after season 1 and 2, and it's a 3-year deal, and you look at that and go, okay, well, obviously the opt-outs are if the team's not doing great, but at that point, it's only a 3-year deal, and he's still playing to make more dough after that, so. You know,
yeah,
and guys like that still keep playing. I love the way he plays the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm looking forward to watching him in that Red Sox uniform. He was a great player with the Astros. Has he played anywhere else, or was he with the Astros?
No, Houston, but the Red Sox drafted him.
Really,
the Red Sox actually drafted him, and he turned down the invite, and he went to LSU because they've got a great baseball program. And he went there and lit it up, and then came out of there and went to the Astros. Yeah, but he plays like my favorite Red Sox player of all time is Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah,
little gritty second baseman that won some World Series back in the early 2000s and stuff, and played every game like it was going to be his last. And Bregman's a lot like him, you know, a smaller guy that just plays gritty, plays hard all the time. You know, will always find a way to get on base and make something happen, and I just love that. So
yeah, I see a lot of that in Jarren Duran, obviously too. That guy goes hard.
Oh yeah, like his hair's on fire.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
When he rounds third, there's no question he's trying to score.
Yeah.
He's a fun
few
player
guys
to watch.
Like him and David Hamilton's really fast. I think they say David Hamilton's a little faster, but I think Duran runs more aggressively.
Yeah,
that's
what I was going to say. It just looks.
And then they've got a few other guys that've been stealing bases. Trevor Story stole some bases. Bregman can steal. Like those guys can move, right? So they've got some tools, and they got some pitching that's pretty exciting. Aroldis Chapman, I think he was pitching last week in a game, and I think he hit 101 miles an hour in a spring training game, which is kind of nutty.
Yeah, he'll be. He's obviously. Would he be their closer?
It's still that's up for debate on that. Like Liam Hendricks is there, and Justin Slayton. So it's not a defined role yet. So
Gotcha.
They're all sort of just in the bullpen smashing around. But man, I never like really paid attention. But is he big? Like Chapman, he's a giant. Like as a human, like he's just thick. Like he's what's the other word? The cool word the kids are using. He's swole. Is that what it is? Swole. Yeah. He's swole. Yeah. Like he's huge. And they say like he's the first guy in the gym every morning getting his workout in. Like he's at there, like the first guy. Like everybody shows up and they think they're there early, and he's there.
Yeah, he's
just a beast.
He's an animal. He's a lefty too, isn't he?
He's a lefty. Yeah.
His arm action is just rank. Like, and I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of a simp, but when I see a guy throwing left-handed that hard, it just blows my mind. Same with the left-handed quarterback. It just blows my mind that a guy can throw a ball 60 yards with his left hand. Obviously, it's the same thing as throwing with your right for us.
Yeah, exactly.
In my mind,
so
it's
different.
Backwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's nutty, and I can't imagine like I'm just trying to think because I bat left, and I don't think I ever faced any left-handed pitching. But I can't imagine being a left-handed batter and facing that, and the ball always looks like it's going to come right at you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like as soon as he starts winding up, and he's a giant, so he's lunging over 6.5 feet towards the plate.
Yeah, he's covering
and
a lot of area.
And he could throw 105 if he wanted to. Like
yeah, straight
it's
gas.
It's nuts. Yeah, so it should be that. I'm excited to watch the Red Sox. Like I'm excited every season, but this season it just seems like there's an extra little.
Yeah,
I
think they might have. Would you say that they outperformed their expectations last year? Or from my point of view, I didn't think they were gonna do much, and they were right in it till.
Yeah, they had a chance. And they finished 500. They finished 82 and 82. They're 81 and 81.
Yeah.
But yeah, they haven't made the playoffs in a while, since 21. And in a big market like that, that's kind of unacceptable, and especially with owners like that. Like they have, their owners are they have a lot of money, and I think they're just realizing that they've got to get back to the way that Boston needs to compete. And I don't think it hurt that the Celtics won. The Bruins have been competitive. I don't think it hurt that the Celtics won, and I really don't think. I honestly believe that when that series, The Comeback, came out on Netflix, I really believe that made John Henry, the owner, really step up and kind of go, wait a minute. I like how that felt when we'd win.
I remember you saying that when we had watched it, and I think it just drew a ton of attention to the team and the franchise, and just remembering past successes has a funny way of motivating people to get back there. So I think you're seeing that now with the way they approach the off season and how they're looking so far here in spring training. So I hope the Red Sox get in there and do some damage in the postseason. It's going to be a fun summer.
Oh yeah. I'd like to be watching baseball in October.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that
nice.
at all.
I was mostly seeing a lot of highlights and watched a handful of innings here and there, like I had said, but saw this story, thought it was kind of cool. Jake Berger from the Texas Rangers. His 4-year-old daughter had successful heart surgery, and I think this was last week or maybe a week and a half ago. His 4-month-old daughter had successful open heart surgery, and I don't know if it was the next day or when this was, but he had his hospital bracelet still on, and he ended up hitting his first home run as a member of the Rangers with the hospital band still on. So
no way.
Just kind of a cool little story, and he said it meant a lot to him when he looked down and saw that, and obviously that one was for her.
Jeez, that's what a
cool story about a dad honoring his daughter in a special way.
Man, no kidding. Well, and
I was just kind of reading up on him a little bit, and his daughter has Down syndrome, and he's been a huge advocate for the Children's Hospital in Nashville and some other initiatives bringing awareness to Down syndrome and supporting the cause, and that's why he wears number 21 on the Rangers. So
interesting,
kind of a cool little story, and I know you're a sucker for the bigger than the game stories, and I thought that was kind of a cool one.
Oh, absolutely. And even hearing you say that, it's kind of funny because, well, not funny, but last year, if you had have heard that story, you would have have empathy to the story and whatever. But now, it's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
I think subconsciously that you put yourself in that family's shoes, or if
and now you can, right? Like you're you're living it now. You're there.
Yeah, it's life changing, obviously, and you just kind of see the world in a different light. Yeah, as a dad, I love hearing those stories about other fathers and especially fathers of daughters. Kind of hits a little different now, obviously.
Yeah. Well, and his reason for playing the game, changed once there's someone else around that you look out for more, right? Like that's, that's great. I love that. That's a great story.
Yeah.
So cool. Jake Berger, eh?
Yeah, Jake Berger. Yeah. So rooting for Jake, see what he does with the Rangers this year. And
no kidding. Sure, that's who the Sox play the first series of the season.
There you go.
In Texas.
We'll right away then.
Hopefully he doesn't hit too many home runs.
No. Yeah.
I'd give him a couple.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
I also saw, I don't know if you saw this clip, it was a Phillies spring training game against Detroit, and the Phillies manager, Ron Thompson, was doing the in-game interviews with the broadcasters. So
from the dugout
on in the dugout, and game's still going on, so they got kind of a split screen going with him. And the Tigers are batting, and his pitcher, I don't even know who was on the mound, but he gave up 3 straight home runs while the manager was on the call, and his reaction to these, you got to go watch the clip. It's just hilarious because he's doing this interview and he's just watching these guys go off on his pitcher, and he just kind of has a blank stare on his face, and you can see the wheels turning, and maybe number 44, whoever that is for the Phillies. Yeah, he's questioning his performance or his abilities at that point.
Booking his flight on the way home.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny to watch.
Dang. I thought you were going to say the interview kept going and he went out to the mound and called in the next guy, but still had the interview on. It was still live.
Yeah. No, but kind of a funny moment. But,
wow.
Spring training's in the thick of things, obviously, in Arizona and Florida.
Yeah,
so
big time.
We'll be watching baseball in what is it?
March 27th. March 27th is the first. I think that's opening day for all the teams. Is March 27th, which isn't that far off. That's not that far off. What's today? The 8th. So 9th. March 8th. Yeah, that's not far. Mine 9th. Yeah, not far off at all. If I was a day, I messed up from the time change.
Oh my God, I got a story about that.
I'm just kidding around.
About that. I got a bonehead story about that.
Really? Okay, because we got no concept. We have no concept of the time change here in Saskatchewan. I only have a concept because Laura's from Ontario and her family changes the clocks, and other, the band is in Vancouver and they change their clocks, but I don't know. So tell me, what's your story? I love it.
Yeah, I ain't got no concept of daylight savings either, but for whatever reason, my phone was on like Winnipeg time. The time zone was Winnipeg, and it's in my settings. It's set to automatic. So Jets I don't know. I had a VPN on my phone, so maybe that switched the location or something at some point. But I got up this morning and let the dogs out, and I didn't really think anything of it. But I was like, yeah, it seems early, whatever. Usually pretty early when I get up. It's around 6 o'clock, so continue with my day, make some coffee or whatever. And I look at the stove clock, and it says like 5:21 or something, and I'm like, oh, what? I thought I got up at 6, and I thought it was like 6:21, and I had got Scotty up, so she missed out on some sleep, which was not a great thing to do as a father, and she was already up when I realized this, so it was a little too late. So I don't know what happened, but technology won, Tys 0 on the day. I got burned, and absolute bonehead move on my part to not have the old iPhone clock dialed up properly.
That's hilarious. That's a good one.
But what do you do? Now she's on Regina time, and we'll stay that way.
That's right. Not in Winnipeg anymore. So back in high school, there was a friend of mine who got up in the middle of the night, and he thought it was the morning time to get ready for school. Didn't realize how dark it was or anything at all. And he showered, got ready and everything, and went to school. And it must have been in winter because it would have been dark out when he went to school. But he went to school, and he got to school at 5 a.m. And he didn't realize that he had woken up at 3:30 and got all ready, showered, did the whole thing. His parents never said, "What are you doing?" And had breakfast. And he got to school at 5 a.m. And then it was just really funny when he told us. He didn't have to tell us, but it was a great story. So that wasn't even a time change thing. That was just a not realizing what was going on thing. So there you go.
Yeah, that's interesting. Never done that. I think I would.
Way to go, Dave.
I would probably realize the same way, getting out to the old stove, and that would clue in. And
yeah, that's a good one though. Yeah, the clock. We rely on this for our time. So if it moves at all, we're just kind of following along, right?
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Yeah. Technology got me today, but that's all right.
Well, that's totally fine. Totally fine. No big deal at all on that one. No big deal at all. So as a new dad, 7-month-old, how old is she? 7.5 now?
Yes. Yeah.
7.5.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. 8.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's
I keep thinking I can't wrap my head around Coop being 13 coming up in August. Yeah. But man, she's going to be 1 before that. Holy, that's moving fast.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, she's I think I mentioned this to you previously, but she's getting around the floor a lot more, which is great.
Oh, yes.
Love to see it. I am going as far as to say that she has been crawling, but that is a sensitive subject in our household.
All right.
Mom is not ready to give her the crawling credential quite yet. So
really?
She's got to keep working on it.
Can she move forward?
She moves forward, yes.
Okay, then she's crawling.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yep.
I don't know. Exactly. She might not have the best technique, the best style, the best form, but if she can move forward,
yep,
she's doing something. She's doing the worm. Maybe she's doing the worm.
exactly what she's doing. She does.
Maybe
like
she's doing the Dougie. Okay, she's doing the Dougie. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
No, that is not the right one.
Okay.
The worm.
Yeah. Do you remember that from breakdancing?
I do. Yeah. No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
She actually does. She actually does do that. She takes like 1 or 2 steps.
That's better than crawling.
Then kind of hits the deck and gets on her stomach and kind of propels herself forward by doing the worm and then gets back up and takes a couple more and rolls back onto her.
Breakdancing back.
Yeah, exactly.
She's bringing it back. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's doing really well though. And it's like I keep saying, so much fun. And a lot of work at the same time, but that's kind of secondary
absolutely.
when
you look at
it for your little girl and taking care of her. And I've just been thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah. And the sleeping is kind of, dare I say, dialed in at this point.
Yeah, leveling out. It's leveling out. It finds its ebbs and flows. It finds its thing, right?
At this point, anyway, it's okay right now. It's kind of a nice change, and it's nice to get some rest. You definitely feel that when you've had a good
yes,
5-6 hours,
solid 6. I was gonna say 6 is like top end.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's like, wow. You may have slept in.
Yeah.
6 hours. I saw that she came. Did I see that she came and watched you play hockey yesterday? Or was Friday?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love it.
Watch me slap it up with the old boys at lunchtime, and
I love
it was a lot of fun. She likes those outings, so it's good to have them out, and it's hilarious looking up and seeing her in her stroller pushed up against the glass in the second level there. Just had a clear view of her. So,
that must have been amazing.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I loved it. I loved that the photos were posted up and we got to see them.
Yeah.
So what would you say? I've got a quick question here. Being a dad, being a new dad, but at this point in time, what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself in the 7.5 months?
Well, that's deep.
It's pretty deep, yeah, and there's probably there's not just one thing, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in the lead up going through the pregnancy, well, obviously I didn't go through it, but going through it alongside Jess.
We'll edit that out too.
And geez Louise.
Yeah.
Definitely took a backseat to what she was doing. But I was, obviously you're becoming a dad and it's going to happen, but you're nervous, right? And you don't know. There's a lot of unexpecteds coming up. Don't know if that's a word, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen. And you just, hope and with all your being that everyone is healthy, and that's first off. And then I kind of figured, I was very confident in, my partner Jess and us as a team, but had some doubts if I was, what type of father I would be. Was I going to be able to, step up? What was it going to feel like? And it's kind of crazy, but all my worries kind of subsided when she, when I held her for that first time. I just knew from that moment on that there was nothing that I wouldn't do for her, and just overall caring for her and doing everything that I can to ensure that she has the best life. And I'm confident to say that, feel like we're doing pretty good job of it. And as first time parents, it's a roller coaster day to day, but you learn quickly. You learn quickly and you sure find out what you're capable of and how far, you can push her, in Jess's case, push her body and mind, and to bring, life into this world is probably the greatest gift there is. And I say it all the time. There's no other gift better than the one that Jess has given me with Scotty. And I just love her so much. Yeah, there's a lot there, I guess. If I was to sum it up, just knowing that, I am indeed capable of being a dad, and hopefully a good one. But
that's
those
great.
Anxious, sleepless nights leading up to, the due date are real. And I know I got friends, kind of going through it right now, and it's nice to have a support system. And we're super lucky that way, because, I've got a lot of close friends that, have recently become fathers in the last 5 years, and it's nice to be able to kind of lean on them. And it's not just one or two, it's 3, 4, 5 guys that
that's amazing.
Text or call and be confident that they'd give it to me straight and help me out and share their experiences. And I know everyone's kind of helped each other out that way. So we're lucky in that way, that
that's huge.
We have a lot of support. But yeah, no, if I was to say to, a dad who's expecting, yeah, you'll know exactly what to do. And I don't know how it happens.
Yeah.
Your instincts do take over, and it's a real thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's great. And I love that, just when you said that you feel like, you feel confident in what you're doing, and you feel like, you're doing it the right way. And that's amazing. That's absolutely
and I
amazing.
mean, don't know if I'm doing it the right way. Hope we are.
But what is the right way? The right way is
exactly.
She's home sleeping every night, and she's safe and she's healthy, and that's the right way. And every day you wake up and you can't wait to see her and hold her and make her laugh and all those things, right? All those little things that are essentially free that kind of make up the most important part of what's going on.
Yeah, no,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I wish, it'd be nice to have a letter or a message from my future self to my myself, last year at this time, because, man, it was you try and keep your, cool about it, but there's times where you're just the uncertainty was a hard thing for me to kind of
freaking out.
Yeah, my head
but
around,
there's nothing you could do, right? Like there's nothing you can't.
And as you go through,
you have no control. It's completely out of your control now. Like it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
you'll deal with it as it shows up.
Yep.
Someone will say, "Here it is," and then you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's important that you say that. Like that's important to always look back on that and remember those things. Like I try to do that. I'm not one to live in the past, but I do try to remember when you guys were young and try to remember how I felt at that time and just how it's different now, and should it be different now, or obviously it's different now because there's times past, but there's times of when you guys were little, of innocent things like going to the park and all that, where it felt amazing, and it's like you can't forget that is a very, very important element of being a parent. If you're doing it right and you're caring and you're around all the time, then that's how one feels.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's just amazing. I could ramble on about it forever.
Yeah.
I just love.
No, I just wanted to ask you. I just wanted to ask you that one question because I know that on the day to day maybe you think of those things or don't think of them, but it's just important to kind of answer that question and go what has this taught me about me. And not about her. Like you're learning about her, and she's learning about her, and you guys are learning about being a trio now and everything going on. But you personally, it's important to go, man. What is this teaching me every day? Like, what is this? How does this inform my future and inform my way of life now and my being? Because it does change.
Yeah, no, it's great, and our lifestyle has obviously shifted. A bit with Scotty, but I wouldn't, wish anything other than what we have right now.
Yeah.
The time that we get as parents when she's in bed is so precious, and that's been something I guess I've learned to don't take those moments for granted, and cherish those times when you have time with your partner, your significant other, and then just all the time spent as a family is just incredible. So
and she's laying in the other room safe and sound and everything. Everything's fine. There's a piece. There's a real internal peace in that when you can sit back and go, everybody's good.
Yep.
Like everybody's good. That's kind of the win.
Yeah, I find myself.
As everything gets chaotic and everything, you got to slow that down and just go. You know what? You guys as the group, that's the win.
Yeah, I think probably. I know it's something that I think a lot of dads go through this, but just, kind of the guilt of not being there when you're not there, wondering what's up, how is everyone, making sure they're good. But that's just a part of caring and loving 100%. Someone more
at any age.
Yourself.
That's
right?
At any age. Like last Wednesday night, Coop's his ball team he's on had a parents meeting, and I was going to miss it because I had to teach. And I had just shuffled some students around because I didn't want to miss the meeting. And I'm like, I could have missed the meeting. That would have been fine. Laura would have went to the meeting. I would have got the information. It would have been fine. But I wanted to be there. This Wednesday's got a playoff hockey game. And I'm like, okay, now can I move these? It's you don't like if you want to be around and you care, you'll do that stuff. And it never really stops at all.
Trying to practice being a little more, how do I say it? Like those feelings of guilt that you're not there aren't necessarily a negative thing because, you're going to be back, and just means you care.
And that's where it comes from. That's exactly
you
right.
love them, right? So
yeah,
trying to get better at that. But that's something, as your family grows and as you become parents, it's tough to be away, especially early.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
I'm talking like I'm away constantly. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm talking if I go play beer league hockey at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, making sure they're all good. Yeah. So, maybe I can go do that. But the whole time, not the whole time, but be sitting on the bench and thinking, okay, I hope they're good.
Yeah.
And checking the phone first thing when you get back, right? So yeah, that's just part of the learning curve and part of being a parent, I guess. So
yeah. Oh, it is. Absolutely. It is 100%. That doesn't change when I get to come watch you play hockey on a Friday afternoon, or when I get to, go hang out with Jalen, go to a concert, or go whatever. Like that never, ever, ever changes. And it only gets as they get older, it gets better because there's more interaction and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it never changes from that simple thing of going, are they okay? You want to be around to do things. You want to, when you get to do stuff together, you get very excited. When you guys come over and there's something going on here, I get like super, super pumped. Like I'm more happy than a lot of times, because it's like, well, no, there's a thing going on. And and it's like, but even doing this, like it's, that's what it is. That's the whole idea. All the stuff you just said is exactly, I didn't know what answer you were going to say, but that's what being a good parent is. I love it.
Yeah, it's been incredible journey, and we're going to keep trucking along here.
I love it. That's amazing.
She'll be walking and playing in the grass in no time. Summer's going to be fun, man. I can't wait.
Well, before she starts walking, she's got to just start breakdancing. Like from the worm, she's got to start we got to get some of those old tunes.
Well, she does. It does look like a breakdance routine.
Yeah.
She gets up on like kind of all fours and puts her bum in the air and kind of falls on her shoulder and sits there for a minute. So a little bit of breakdancing in her future, possibly.
Yes. Yeah. There's an old Herbie Hancock tune from the 80s. You got to send me a video of that, and I'll throw some music behind it. And all
right, we'll do.
She'll go viral. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding around. I really like that. I really like your answer there. That meant a lot hearing you say that, man.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the question.
I dig it. I totally dig it. I dig it. I think we should probably wrap on that, no?
Yeah.
I think we're
that's
good.
a good note to wrap it up.
I think we covered
episode 9.
Covered all the sports and everything. And then, again, we're, just transitioning into a new way of doing this and stuff. So maybe a few hiccups along the way, but everybody just hang out and hang with us, and we're going to make it fun and just keep keeping on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And
being the dads.
Yeah, exactly. Nice little glimpse into the life of, 2 dads from Saskatchewan. 2 different generations. One wears headphones like a normal person. The other one walks around, listens to baseball games at full blast in public.
I love it. I got to get a shirt made. I'm that guy. That's funny. I got to run into you someday at the park.
I'm going to get you some headphones.
Walk by me. You'll just walk. Oh, trust me, I have enough headphones. I just, it's just easier that way. If Josie got attacked by a rabbit, I'd hear it happening.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
I don't think so. Okay, well, there you go. Episode 9. We'll be back soon enough with double digits.
Yeah, double digits. Ovi's in single digits now, and that might happen before our next episode, so we'll stay tuned for that. And other than that, enjoy the nice spring air out there. Depending where you're at, hopefully it's good vibes like it is here in Sasky right now.
Yep. Keep it going. Change your clocks.
Absolutely. Don't forget, change your clocks. All right. Cheers, everyone.